welcome back to Bemusing Bill. This episode is for one of my patrons' request. This is for you, Matt. Thank you very much. This is Immortal Technique, and the song is called Dance with the Devil. And I've heard of the name Immortal Technique for many years now. My son was really into them. I believe he was really into them when he was younger, in his late teens or something, because I remember him and his friends talking about it. But being that it's rap and I'm a metalhead, I really didn't delve into it. So this should be cool because Matt's telling me if I like storytelling, then I would like this song. So that's awesome. I do really like storytelling, but I am not a rapper. I'm learning, so bear with me. I'm going to do the best I can, but as long as the story is good, I'm all in. I have covered quite a few rappers here on this channel, so it's not like I'm completely blind to it. Not to mention Beastie Boys and LL Cool J, Run DMC, Sugar Hill Gang, up to Cypress Hill and Busta Rhymes and Snoop Dogg and DMX. So, I mean, it's not like I'm not familiar. I just don't know about... I'm learning about breaking down rap music, really. That's my thing. I'm a musician, a metal musician. So, totally different skill set. So, I want to check this out. I'm glad you guys are with me. I'm going to leave the link below in the box. And if you'd like to support this channel, those links are down there as well. Like, share, subscribe. And if you've already been subscribed to me, just check to see if you still are. YouTube's bumping people off for whatever reason. Maybe it's just a glitch or something. I have no idea. But people are telling me in the comments that this is happening. So check it out. If you're not subscribed, smash that button. I'd love to check out more Immortal Technique here. So with that being said, kids, let me pull up the screen. And let me smash their subscribe button and hit the like. Always got to give the original creators all the love, man. All the love. Immortal Technique, kids. Buckle up. Here we go. Now that piano piece there, that's really familiar. Really familiar. I've heard that many times. I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark here. I think it's called Love Story or Love Song. No, I think it's called Love Story. I think. And I'm just going to... This is my guess now because of listening to rap music. There's intentions for the music or the pieces that's sampled. So if that's where it is, Love Story, hit me up in the comments and let me know if you guys know, because that probably has a lot to do with what I'm going to listen to here. Is this a love story? You know what I mean? I'll check it out in a bit, but I'm pretty sure that's what that's called.
I once knew a nigga whose real name was William. His primary concern was making a million, being the illest hustler.
William making a million. William making a million. I like the way he changed William into William to make it fit with the million. That's cool. Nice bar there.
That the world ever seen. He used to fuck movie stars and sniff coke in his dreams. A corrupted young mind at the age of 13. Nigga never had a father and his mom was a fiend. She put the pipe down, but for every year she was sober, her son's heart simultaneously grew colder. He started hanging out.
That's probably important right there. For every year she grew sober, her son's heart grew colder. Is that right?
For every year she was sober, her son's heart simultaneously grew colder. He started hanging out, selling bags in the projects, checking the young chicks looking for hit-and-run prospects. He was fascinated by material objects, but he understood
hit-and-run prospects, one-nighters, a quickie, and selling bags, I'm guessing selling weed. Could be other drugs, but,
As they grew colder, he started hanging out, selling bags in the projects, checking the young chicks looking for hit-and-run prospects. He was fascinated by material objects, but he understood money never bought respect. He built a reputation because he could hustle and steal, but got locked once and didn't hesitate to squeal. So criminals he chilled with didn't think he was real. You see, me and...
So he's saying that he got locked up, but he ratted them out? Oh, you don't do that. You don't do that.
Didn't hesitate to squeal. So criminals he chilled with didn't think he was real. You see, me and niggas like this have never been equal. I don't project my insecurities on other people. He fiended for props like addicts with pipes and needles, and so he felt he had to prove to everyone he was evil. A feeble-minded young man with infinite potential, the product of a ghetto-bred capitalistic mental. Coincidentally, dropped out of school to sell weed, dancing with the devil, smoked until his eyes would bleed. But he
Dancing with the devil, spoke until his eyes would bleed. He dropped out of school to sell weed, so he's rhyming that with bleed.
Young man with infinite potential, the product of a ghetto-bred capitalistic mental. Coincidentally, dropped out of school to sell weed, dancing with the devil, smoked until his eyes would bleed. But he was sick of selling trees and gave in to his greed.
Sick of selling trees, gave in to his greed. I guess selling heavier stuff.
Smoked until his eyes would bleed, but he was sick of selling trees and gave in to his greed. Everyone trying to be trife never faced the consequences. You probably only did a month for minor offenses. Ask a nigga doing life if he had another chance. But then again, there's always the wicked that knew in advance. Dance forever with the devil on a cold cell block. But that's what happens when you rape, murder, and sell rock. Devils used to be gods, angels that fell from the top. There's no diversity.
Devils used to be gods, angels that fell from the top. Devils used to be angels that fell. Well put.
Murder and sell rock. Devils used to be gods, angels that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot.
Burning. There's no diversity because we're burning in the metal pot, melting pot.
Diversity because we're burning in the melting pot.
Melting pot. You know, the U.S. is considered the melting pot, and he's saying we're burning in the melting pot. Life on the streets, life in the projects, in the ghettos.
Cell block, but that's what happens when you rape, murder, and sell rock. Devils used to be gods, angels that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot. So Billy started robbing niggas, anything he could do to get.
All right, so now he's referring to him as Billy and Billy.
So Billy started robbing niggas, anything he could do to get his respect back in the eyes of his crew. Starting fights over little shit up on the block. Stepped up to selling mothers and brothers the crack rock. Working overtime, making money for the crack spot. Hit the jackpot and wanted to move up to cocaine. Fulfilling the Scarface fantasy stuck in his brain. Tired of
living the Scarface fantasy tied in his brain. So he rats out people in his crew when he goes to jail. And, of course, that ain't going to sit right. So now he feels he's got to really prove himself by doing the most evil shit. Oh, that ain't cool at all, but, you know, that's why they call it Dance with the Devil.
And wanted to move up to cocaine, fulfilling the Scarface fantasy stuck in his brain. Tired of the block niggas treating him the same. He wanted to be major like the cutthroats and the thugs, but when he tried to step to him, niggas showed him no love. They told him any motherfucking coward can sell drugs. Any bitch nigga with a gun can bust slugs. Any nigga with a red shirt can front like a blood. Even Puffy smoked the motherfucker up in the club, but only a real thug can stab someone till they die. Standing in front of them, staring straight into their eyes, Billy realized that these men were well guarded, and they wanted to test him before business started. Suggested raping a bitch to prove he was cold-hearted. So now he had a choice between going back to his life or making money with made men. Up in the sight, his dreams about cars and ice made him agree a hardcore nigga is all he ever wanted to be. And so he met them Friday night at 2:45.
Okay, so they're saying that if you want to step it up, I guess he wanted to be part of the upper echelon. That, you know, they're saying that, you know, you're just a street scum. You know, you could just sell your weed and blah blah blah. That ain't nothing. You want to do something real, you know, you're gonna have to rape somebody. So now he's gonna go meet them.
he ever wanted to be. And so he met them Friday night at 2:45. Everyone trying to be trife, never face the consequences. You probably only did a month for minor offenses. Ask a nigga doing life if he had another chance. But then again, there's always the wicked that knew in advance. Dance forever with the devil on a cold cell block. But that's what happens when you rape, murder, and sell rock. Devils used to be God's angels that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot. Drove around the project slow while it was raining, smoking blunts, drinking and joking for entertainment, until they saw a woman on the street walking alone, 3 in the morning, coming back from work on her way home. And so they quietly got out the car and followed her, walking through the projects. The darkness swallowed her. They wrapped her shirt around their head and knocked her onto the floor. This is it, kid, now you got your chance to be raw. So Billy yoked her up and grabbed the chick by the hair and dragged her into a lobby that had nobody there. She struggled hard, but they forced her to go up the stairs. They got to the roof and then held her down on the ground, screaming, "Shut the fuck up and stop moving around." The shirt covered her face, but she screamed and clawed. So Billy stomped on the bitch till he broke in her jaw. Them dirty bastards knew exactly what they were doing. They kicked her until they cracked her ribs and she stopped moving. Blood leaking through the cloth, she cried silently. And then they all proceeded to rape her violently. Billy was made to go first, but each of them took a turn, ripping her up and choking her until her throat burned. A broken jaw.
So they break her jaw, they kick her so hard they break her ribs. She's got a shirt wrapped around her face. So, to muffle her screaming. They said that Billy went first, but then everyone else is taking their turn.
First, but each of them took a turn, ripping her up and choking her until her throat burned. A broken jaw mumbled for God, but they weren't concerned. When they were done and she was lying bloody, broken and bruised, one of them niggas pulled out a brand new 22. They told him that she was a witness for what she'd gone through, and if he killed her, he was guaranteed a spot in the crew. He thought about it for a minute, she was practically dead, and so he leaned over and put the gun right to her head. I'm falling and I can't turn back. Before he pulled the trigger and ended her life, he thought about the cocaine with the platinum and ice, and he felt strong standing along with his new brothers, cocked the gat to her head and pulled back the shirt cover. But what he saw made him start to cringe and stutter, cause he was staring into the eyes of his own mother. She looked back at him and cried cause he had forsaken her. She cried more painfully, and when they were raping her, his whole world stopped. He couldn't even contemplate his...
What? Wait a minute. Are you shitting me? So this whole time he didn't recognize her at all. I know it was dark and they knocked her down and they put this towel on her, and they so obviously couldn't really hear her. Oh my God, dude. What the... I've heard some messed up stuff in my time. Oh my God, this is... It's heartbreaking for both of them. That's so messed up, man. I cannot even imagine. I cannot even freaking imagine.
More painfully, and when they were raping her, his whole world stopped. He couldn't even contemplate. His corruption had successfully changed his fate, and he remembered how his mom used to come home late, working hard for nothing, cause now what was he worth? He turned away from the woman that had once given him birth, and crying out to the sky cause he was lonely and scared, but only the devil responded cause God wasn't there. And right then he knew what it was to be empty and cold, and so he jumped off the roof and died with no soul. They say death takes you to a better place, but I doubt it. After that they killed his mother and never spoke about it. And listen, cause the story that I'm telling is true, cause I was there with Billy Jacobs and I raped his mom too. And now the devil follows me everywhere that I go. In fact, I'm sure he's standing among one of you at my shows, in every street cipher listening to little thugs flow. He could be standing right next to you and you wouldn't know. The devil grows inside the hearts of the selfish and wicked. White, brown, yellow, and black color is not restricted. You have a self-destructive destiny when you're...
All right, before... Wow. So Billy couldn't stand what he had just done. And he goes and he throws himself off the roof. Which, of course, then they just kill his mom. And he talks about how he was right there, too. Oh, man. Whoa, dudes. That is just freaking insane.
God wasn't there, and right then he knew what it was to be empty and cold, and so he jumped off the roof and died with no soul. They say death takes you to a better place, but I doubt it. After that they killed his mother and never spoke about it. And listen, cause the story that I'm telling is true, cause I was there with Billy Jacobs and I raped his mom too. And now the devil follows me everywhere that I go. In fact, I'm sure he's standing among one of you at my shows. In every street cipher listening to Little Thug's flow. He could be standing right next to you and you wouldn't know. The devil grows inside the hearts of the selfish and wicked. White, brown, yellow, and black color is not restricted. You have a self-destructive destiny when you're inflicted, and you'll be one of God's children that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot. So when the devil wants to dance with you, you better say never, because a dance with the devil might last you forever.
That's right. Wow. I'm at a loss for words, man. There's so much to unpack in that ending. I did not expect that M. Night Shyamalan twist at the end there. You know, I mean, obviously he was going toward him doing something bad, you know, to prove himself. I thought of, you know, my mind was already trying to jump ahead with all like possible scenarios, but I didn't see that coming. That is so freaking horrible. So Billy dies. His mom dies. His mom had been sober, right? That she used to be, what do you say, a crackhead, meth head? But she had gotten herself sober, and as she got sober, Billy got, or I guess at the time, William got colder and colder. So here he is trying to rise to the level. And, you know, that's the whole thing with Dance with the Devil. That the devil's always going to be with you. He's always standing right there. My wife and I have these little debates and whatnot. And we're both Christian. And, you know, she talks about, you know, Satan raising his army, you know, at the end of days and blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, you know, you don't have to think in terms of, you know, something supernatural. You know, something supernatural that's going to manifest itself. No, it's the evil in the hearts of people. And I see it all the time. Now with social media, you see it even more. I mean, just putting comments into sections where people love somebody and they got to slam them and they got to belittle them and everything. That's that evil coming through. That's that evil coming through. And you know, it's like a disease. It's like a pandemic nowadays. It infects so many people. People don't care. People are colder. People are much colder. It's not like it used to be, and it's getting worse. Now, he's talking about the projects. He's talking about, you know, that poverty there. I understand that. I mean, I never lived in the projects or the ghetto or anything. I've always been dirt poor, you know? And so I get that mentality, and I think that's why metalheads and rap heads, you know, kind of mix well, because we might have different backgrounds, but the feelings and the oppression and the angst and the, you know, all those emotions and all that, it's all still inside, even though it comes out in different ways. But man, that is some hard hitting stuff. But you know what, Matt? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I do appreciate the storytelling here. It had such a great flow to it, and you know, it's had a great beat. But you know, the whole time you're just visualizing what he's saying, and that's just absolutely amazing. That's great storytelling right there. He had me totally captivated. Almost 7 minutes. I felt like it was like 2 minutes. That was amazing. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. I know this is an old song, so a lot of guys probably already have, you know, listened to this so many times and have heard this in so many variations. I'd like to hear what you guys think about it. So hit me up. Till the next time, be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Lots of love and peace to all of y'all. Peace.